Have you undertaken any interim heritage orders since becoming Minister?
No.
No. But obviously you're cognizant of your powers under Section 24 and 25 of the Act.
I am.
Very good. The City Council moved a motion on the 23rd of October to review 25 statues, and I'll quote, undertake a review of public statues in the City of Sydney in consultation with local and state historical and cultural institutions, the City's Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander public art advisory panels and the local Metropolitan Aboriginal Land Council to introduce alternate plaques, signage or other additions. Have you taken an interest in what's been proposed?
I read the media report. That's all I'm aware of. In terms of my responsibility,
has the council approached you as the Minister for Heritage?
I don't believe so. No, but I'll check and confirm.
You can check and confirm. Can I ask you, would you consider, and should they intend on altering these statues in any way, that as is being suggested by this motion, which was passed unanimously by that council, will you consider an interim order to protect those statues? We're talking about James Cook, we're talking about Queen Victoria, significant statues of value for the history of the people of New South Wales and indeed our nation. Sadly, they're all in the City of Sydney Council. But you do have the power under the Act to intervene with an interim order to prevent any alterations.
There's a lot in that question. What I would say is the following. It's a matter for the council in relation to their matters and whether they actually have local listing or not. If they don't have state heritage listing, I do not have power over them, and I'm not sure which of those statues do have and whether they do. Happy to provide that information. So that would be where I would have a role in relation to that. I don't believe that there's been the City of Sydney has contacted my office.
You can use Section 25.
Yes, in terms of the application,
24.
Yes, that's true. But
Section 25 specifically in relation to councils to make those orders.
Yes, I'm not aware of whether people would be seeking to do that. I also act on advice from the New South Wales Heritage Council. I think that if there was an application, well, we'd examine them in the normal way. The other point that I'd make, though,
their own council, Minister. It seems to me this council's operating separate from your Heritage Advisory Council, so they're working separately.
Yes, there's a range of levels that the Heritage Act operates under.
Some information about what Sydney Council is proposing to do with these 25 statues.
If they're not on the State Heritage Register, these are not things that are mostly in my remit. I accept that I have some role in relation to these. You can take it through with my officials, and Mr Kidman, I'm sure, could take you through the details this afternoon. But the point that I'd make here is if they're not on the State Heritage Register, and I have no idea whether they are or not, there is different rules in relation to how we would deal with those. I think we're a long way from that. Other than the media report, you've given me a lot of information today.
Well,
other than the media report, that's all I'm aware of.
They've clearly indicated they're going to rewrite history here in the City of Sydney Council,
Thank you.
Minister, so it does require your intervention.